Hey everyone, it's Kresge here, doing another video here talking about some things, a little bit about clan battles, a little bit about the Des Moines Legendary module. I'm running that here on my Des Moines, and so far I actually kind of like it. I believe we talked about in the training stream a while ago about the Legendary modules, about our speculation and what we thought, and I believe we had said no, or I know I was really mixed on it. And I kind of thought about my Des Moines playstyle and how I kind of, at least in randoms, not in clan battles, tend to play like a little bit of an open water Des Moines. Sort of like a hybrid. I move around. I like to almost never stop moving in my Des Moines unless I'm, finding that perfect island and, just farming damage, which is, a lot of fun. And depending on the circumstance, it can be really good for your team, and it can also be really bad for your team, being that stationary Des Moines hiding behind an island. So I like to move around a little bit and get in those, hard to remove places for the enemy team to remove me. As anybody who's played against Des Moines know, Des Moines around a corner is a scary thing to push. Just even as a battleship, as a destroyer, knowing that they have radar and maybe even hydro is pretty scary and just stops destroyers in their tracks. So I like to poke around an island that would be kind of like a key enemy position. And the reason why I chose this video is to highlight the Des Moines Legendary module, which gives you a 50% bonus to your acceleration and a 20% bonus to your rudder shift, and I believe it was a minus 10% duration to your radar. So it shortens your radar, which especially in clan battles is a bad thing. In fact, I really don't recommend this for clan battles. This was the last night of clan battles. I was just trying it out a little bit, just seeing how I thought about it. I got it that morning, and I'd also heard there was a glitch going around where people might lose their legendary module if they demount it. So I was a little bit nervous about getting rid of it. I wanted to keep it. So I decided, hey, it's the last night. We're trying to just get a couple of wins in for some people, and just kind of have some fun, enjoy the night without completely memeing it and making it a joke. So I decided, yeah, what the hell, I'll run it. We needed a Des Moines player. I was at least I felt the best choice for what we had, at least for this game. And I went and ran it, and very shortly here you're gonna see where I actually really liked it, and the moment that my mind really changed on it. Because remind you, I just got it this morning. I was testing it a little bit, trying to figure out how much I liked it, and I run the additional propulsion module. So the legendary module for Des Moines takes place of your which people typically take reload or range mod in the Des Moines. Reload, I believe, brings it down to a 4.8 second reload on the gun, so I'm not completely positive on it, but it's somewhere around there, when the gun reload is normally 5.5 seconds. And the range module, I believe, brings it from 15.8 that I have right now to 18.4. And as we had mentioned before, I really like having the reload mod, but for newer players, the range mod is pretty good. So right here, this is the moment where I fell in love with the module. Right now I actually back up and reverse away from these torpedoes using the 50% bonus to the acceleration from the legendary module combined with the 50% bonus to the acceleration module. So I usually actually take rudder shift because I kind of like to play this hybrid open water Des Moines. And you can see with the combination of that I get a plus 100% bonus to my acceleration, which I believe that's how it works. I believe they just stack on top of each other like that, so it'll equal 100. Could be wrong. Correct me, please, if I am wrong. I want to try to be as formative as I can. So right there, I barely dodged those torpedoes, and that really worked out. And I'm hydroing the Shima for my team. Now I'm just popping ahead. I feel like I have the acceleration of a Minotaur, which really throws people off. And the Shimakaze is probably pretty angry, wondering how I did that. Well, it's because I had the stacking of the two modules. And right here, I can just pass their torpedoes. And since the legendary module gives you a plus 20% boost to your rudder shift, I took off the other rudder shift mod. Mine, I feel like it has a already quick enough rudder shift that just the legendary module or just the normal rudder shift module is more than really what I needed. It shifts so fast that I didn't find use for it so far, and I'm still in testing. It's only been 2 days that I've actually played Des Moines, so I'm using this super Chad Des Moines that I like to call it, to just kind of get around easier, shift around corners faster, and as you can see, it's working pretty well against the, in this specific scenario. I'm really loving it so far. Maybe I'll change my mind, but I actually feel like this is a good use of the legendary module. It switches up my gameplay pretty good, portion where, my interest in Des Moines is still, kind of been renewed and still going strong. I forget how many games I'm at. I want to say it's between 150 and 200. So, I've had at least a good amount of Des Moines games. I love this ship. It's, a ship that I like because it's challenging. At least for me, when I first started playing it, I had no idea how to play it. I was probably among the worst Des Moines players in the server. And now, I'm nothing special, but my rating is proved from terrible to pretty good. So I'm pretty proud of that, even though, it's not Super Unicum, it's not Unicum. It's not even technically great on WoW's numbers. I'm still proud that I was able to go from what I would call not so great player to, a pretty good player, and mostly my stats lately have been pretty good, but stats aren't everything, right? So I just in general enjoy playing the ship. It kind of keeps me on my edge, where if you play it poorly and you're not really at the top of your game, you get punished. But if you're on top of your game, you're having good map awareness, good choices in your targets and your positioning, it's so rewarding. And it's kind of what I loved about Atlanta. Same thing, hated that ship at first, and then turned to be my most played ship in the game. Once I figured it out, I was really proud of that. You can see right here, my team, we did a pretty devious plan where we sent everybody towards A, realized they were going full A and only left one ship at D. They left one ship at D. We moved our cruisers from C to D to go get them, and I moved into B, challenging what was only a Shimakaze, and I had cruiser support from my teammates. And I guess I should clarify too, this is our B team, our Bravo team. We train a lot of people, so I'm really proud of these guys. They learned a lot this season. They went from the first day at clan battles to just, charging at a cap, to then, being able to have really good strategy and, follow through on a plan. We were, practicing some, starting to practice some pretty advanced tactics. So really big shout out to these guys from, going from zero to hero, as some people like to call it. So I'm really happy with how that turned out for us. And this game just kind of like highlights, how everybody grew, and how we're able to, quickly change an overwhelming situation that we would have fallen to, where their whole team went to a cap. At the beginning of the season, a lot of our players would have just kind of like, oh, all their whole team's over here, let's send our whole team over here, and we'll just have a giant clash of ships. And as any experienced clan battles player will tell you, sure, you can win that. It's going to come down to a few moments of player skill, but hypothetically, if both teams, players are equally skilled, it's going to come down to things like RNG. Who gets the most fires, who maybe gets that weird citadel, things like that. So you generally don't want to do that. And during our clan battles training stream, I was really happy with what Teehee said of trying to control your half of the map. I think that's really important, and something I tried to drill in my head when shot calling, and what I tried to drill in other people's head when shot calling, or even just playing, because the shot caller has a lot to do. If somebody goes, hey, I think this is a good idea, let's do it, it's a real big help to the shot caller. And I think that's something every player should try to strive to do. And right here we realized, oh hey, they're gonna control the A without easily, without much contest. So let them have A. We kind of lost some ships in the process, and it's part of the game. Sometimes you're gonna lose ships. You can't have that perfect game where nobody takes any damage or dies. Sometimes the best thing you could do is actually sort of sacrifice or just hold them back so that your team can reposition. Not that exactly that's what we do. I believe we actually had a little bit of a miscommunication where our destroyer thought they had the support to keep contesting A and moving on it, when our cruisers, I believe, failed to communicate that a little bit. So obviously things aren't perfect, right? No team is. We could definitely improve in things. And right here is another example of me calling out, hey, everybody shoot this destroyer. Everybody who could was But this is also another showcase of this acceleration mod. I go and I move forward and I beach myself. I'd love to say that was intentional, where I knew I would avoid the torpedoes. That's absolutely not the case. I kind of panicked a little bit and smashed that W key as much as I could to try to get out of the way. I thought I was for sure dead. I was hoping to get around that corner, but judging by where the torpedoes went, I believe if I would have went around that corner, I think I would have at least eaten one torpedo. And you know, I wouldn't have died probably, but I would have taken unnecessary damage. Not that that would really change this game. I probably could have taken a few of those torpedoes, lived, and been absolutely fine. But right here is another example where I was doing my job. I didn't need to rush that Des Moines earlier. I just needed to hydro him and hope my cruisers could, you know, do damage to him. But now I have the clear health advantage. I'm gonna move around. I'm gonna go get him. I'm gonna, you know, try to get rid of him. And you know, he got a really good salvo on me there. So, you know, good move. I showed a little bit too much broadside, but I couldn't turn really any faster. So, but that was a worthy risk to take. I really wanted to get him out of there and, you know, grab their hold of B. But right now I'm realizing I'm not going to win against the Republic in B cap. You know, maybe I could if I, you know, position rightly, but I have no reason to challenge him. We have the ship advantage, and we have the cap advantage. There's no reason that I need to even chance that. You know, perhaps if I ran in there, I maybe could have killed him, maybe could have lived long enough, but he also very easily, probably most likely would have citadeled me, and I would have lost that. His secondaries are pretty powerful, and of course those guns in Republic, they load fast, and they don't really care about your armor. So why challenge him? You know, they have no reason to. So I'm going to run to A, let him have B. Who cares? You know, I can do my best to possibly radar or spot him for my team, but I really don't even want to spot him. Maybe I can stay within radar range and go. Maybe, you know, our Hindenburg and, or sorry, our two Hindenburgs could, you know, get some HE damage on him. But right now I'm trying to actually position myself between this island with the cathedral, where he won't be able to hit me. That way, if he goes left around the island, I can move towards my right, or if he goes to the right side, I can move towards my left side, and for the most part, avoid him, because we're going to win in a minute, 8 seconds. And right now, you know, as you can see, I'm radaring him, but our cruisers don't really have much shots on him. We don't really need to. We're going to win in 30 seconds. So, you know, I thought I'd, you know, show here a little bit of some good maneuvers. I pushed up because I realized in B there was only Shimakaze. We had most of his health. I had the advantage there. I kind of stayed tucked in where they couldn't hit me. Just showing small examples of, you know, good positioning awareness and also just good team play. My team had my back the whole game, and you know, we worked pretty well with some minor errors. So thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day.